Welcome to the first episode of the Investors Center podcast. My name's Isiah, content creator here at the Investors Center, and today's episode is all about letting you know who we are and why we have decided to start a podcast in the first place. Stick around as I will also share one of my favorite crypto stories later on. We are a group of individuals who, like many of you, are fascinated by the world of business and investing and money in general. As a company, we spend our time testing trading and investing platforms available in the UK, writing comprehensive blogs and guides, and finding the best deals with brokers to help our audience better understand where and how to grow their money. But on a more personal level, and through our social media accounts, we love to share the stories, facts, and statistics about money and wealth that we find interesting. We think you'll find them interesting too. And that's where this podcast is going to start. I will be breaking down the best and worst trades in history, showcasing the most successful investors of all time and the philosophies that got them there, sharing the most exciting developments in business and tech, and so much more. In the future, we will be hosting guests like analysts from the biggest UK brokers, CEOs and entrepreneurs, industry leaders, personal finance experts, and pretty much anyone else who can add value to our community and help them better understand money, business, and wealth building. So now, as I promised earlier, let me walk you through one of my favorite crypto stories involving Bitcoin and two pizzas. It's May 18th, 2010, and software developer Laszlo Hanyecz posts to an online forum offering 10,000 Bitcoin, worth around $41 at the time, for someone to bring him two large pizzas. A few people do respond, but no one can quite figure out the logistics. 3 days go by and Laszlo decides to post again, wondering if his offer was too low. A few people do respond, but no one can quite figure out the logistics. 3 days go by and Laszlo decides to post again, wondering if his offer was too low. Then on May 22nd, a 19-year-old forum member called Jeremy says he'll do it. He orders 2 Papa John's pizzas to Laszlo's house in Florida, receives 10,000 Bitcoin in return, and just like that, the first ever real-world purchase using Bitcoin is complete. Now, here's where it gets interesting. By May 2025, as many of you will know, Bitcoin had hit an all-time high of over $111,000 a coin. Those 10,000 Bitcoin would have been worth over $1.1 billion. Even right now, with Bitcoin sitting around $71,000, those two pizzas are worth north of $700 million. Most people that know this story don't know that Laszlo wasn't just some random guy spending Bitcoin for fun. He was one of Bitcoin's earliest developers. He built the first version of Bitcoin that ran on Mac computers, and he was the first person to figure out you could mine Bitcoin using a graphics card, which was a discovery that changed the entire mining industry. And Jeremy, he used his Bitcoin to go traveling with his girlfriend. Neither of them held onto it, and both claim not to regret their decisions. Because the reality is, without people like Laszlo actually spending Bitcoin on real things, it might have never become what it is today. Someone had to be first, and he did it with 2 large pizzas. That was just one money story of hundreds that still excites me today, and many more will be shared with you all in the months to come, along with practical advice and tips in the areas mentioned at the start of this episode. The thing that always fascinates me with stories like this one is how the world tends to value new technologies and products when they are first invented or created. Take the internet, for example. There were people at the time that honestly thought it would never catch on. Same with mobile phones. And now we can't imagine life without either of them. Bitcoin was exactly the same. In 2010, when Laszlo was offering 10,000 coins for 2 pizzas, most people either hadn't even heard of it or dismissed it completely. The idea that digital money with no government behind it could ever be worth anything seemed ridiculous to the majority of people. And yet, here we are, 15 years later, and a single Bitcoin is worth more than most people earn in a year. And it makes you wonder what's out there right now today that people are laughing off, that could end up changing everything. If you enjoyed this story as much as I did, make sure you subscribe or follow us on whatever platform you're currently listening on so you never have to miss out on future episodes. I'm Isiah. Thank you for listening to the first episode of the Investors Center podcast, and I will see you in the next one.